Good morning and welcome. If you're watching live, you're very, very welcome. And if you're watching the replay, you're equally welcome. And for those of you that don't know me, my name's Rebecca and I'm a holistic health coach, and I use QTT personal development methods and homeopathy predominantly to help support you in making whatever positive changes are necessary to improve your physical health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health. And when you're able to do that, then you're really able to live life as fully as you would like to live it, and basically on your own terms. So this video is part of my commitment to that, where I pop in at 10 o'clock every Monday to just share a focus, an idea, a simple practice, something to help support you for the week in becoming more conscious perhaps of what works for you and what doesn't. So, okay, you're very welcome. I think is that Sarah Gregory? Yes, it is. Good morning, Sarah. And thank you for joining me. So today, it's the last Monday Messages video of 2020. So I can't believe that the year has come to a close or is about to come to a close. So I just wanted to actually today follow on from the idea that I introduced last week, which was if you are going to be thinking about New Year's resolutions or goal setting or the things that you would like to put in place for next year to help to change your life for the better, then last week was about starting that process off by celebrating the achievements and the positive learnings that you had from last year. And I think that's a really, really important thing to do, and we don't do it enough. So I wanted to follow on from that today. I'm very mindful of the fact that obviously there's a few days to go until the Christmas week, and I know as women we're running around like headless chickens most of the time at this time of the year, trying to make sure that everything is gorgeous for everybody else and hopefully for ourselves. So I know that your focus will be on the next week or perhaps 2 weeks, but maybe some of you are just starting to think about, well, what can I do differently next year? So I didn't want to go into that too deeply, but just to follow on from last week, when you've looked back and celebrated all those successes that you've had and all the positive, lovely feelings of achievement, of success, however personal that is to you. It doesn't matter what it means to anyone else. I think this year of all years, we have discovered aspects of ourselves that we perhaps didn't know we had, talents that we didn't know we had. Even just mastering things like Zoom may be something that we told ourselves a year ago we would never do, and look, now we're doing it. So if all those things are possible, then what else is possible for next year? What else can you do that will improve your life and take you out of your comfort zone and teach you a little bit more about what you're capable of? And when we think about setting goals and doing New Year's resolutions, things like that, most of the time, if we're really honest with ourselves, we don't sustain them. And, even by the end of January, sometimes these goals and these resolutions have kind of fallen by the wayside. And a lot of the time, there can be complex reasons for that, but a lot of the time it's because we haven't spent a great deal of time sitting with what the feelings behind those goals and those positive changes are for us individually. What do they mean? How will they change our lives or how we feel about our lives for the better? And actually, in a similar process to last week, just really associating with those positive feelings that those goals and those aspirations and those changes may or may not bring you will help you to identify whether those are the right things for you. And often we may choose to adopt ways of being or behaviours or goals, if you like, that are really just because everyone else seems to be doing it, or because a friend has said, oh, you must do this, or your mother has said, why aren't you doing that? Something like that. And it's something that we feel we ought to do or we should do. There's a kind of almost punitive aspect to it, really, particularly when it comes to things like diets and, healthier eating patterns. And when we feel that we're somehow punishing ourselves, that we're doing without in some way, that we're depriving ourselves of something, we're coming at it from a very negative point of view. And we're kind of waking up that feeling of there's something wrong with me that I need to fix, and that if I do this, then maybe that might make me feel better. It's all not really going to support you in feeling good, feeling joyful, connected, happy, peaceful, calm, confident, any of the things that you feel you'd like to feel more of in 2021. So before you think about what actions you might like to take in the next 12 months to support you in feeling as good as you can or as healthy as you can, then first of all, I would invite you this week to connect in with how you want to feel. So when you've looked back at the successes you had last year, how did they make you feel? If you close your eyes, if it's safe to do that, how do those successes and all those proud moments and things that you can now do that you never thought you would be able to do, how do they make you feel about yourself? You can feel, I think, when you go into that your whole body changes. So those messages that you're sending to your whole self when you do something that makes you feel good in some way, positive in some way, that's what we want more of, I think. Ultimately, all of us want more of those feelings, and only we can help us to feel that. So when you're looking back and identifying what made you feel good last year, ask yourself, well, how can I do more of that this year? And that will help you to identify perhaps actions that you can put in place or changes that you can put in place that will help you to feel those feelings. And then if you do feel that when you're doing those things or sustaining those things, you're going to keep them up because it feels good. You're not going to keep up with them if it feels like some kind of punishment or some kind of deprivation, or it's actually not really something I really want to be doing. Why would you? So that's what I would invite you to do this week, if you're indeed able to think about going forward over the next 12 months at all, because I suspect you'd probably be very busy with being in the moment of enjoying being with your family. And that's another thing that I think is something that we can be a little bit more focused on maybe, and that is to be really mindful. Thank you for the thumbs up. To be really mindful of being in the moment and feeling the feelings that come up, the feelings of pleasure, the feelings of connection perhaps with your family, whether that's, on a Zoom call or whether that's in the flesh. If you're spending time cooking or making delicious things for your family, just really feel the pleasure of that, the pleasure of the act of creating something delicious for someone else, as well as the pleasure of watching the recipient, eating and enjoying what you've created. Maybe it's self-care as well over the next couple of weeks, just taking some time out to enjoy being in nature, or reading a book, or just having some extra time. I know some of us have had a lot of that extra time this year, but not everybody. Some people have been working throughout, and this break will mean just as much to them this year as it has on previous years. But whatever it means, enjoy this next couple of days in celebrating being with your family, being with your loved ones, and just maybe pampering yourself and being as mindful as possible, being in the moment and really feeling those moments. Because at the end of the day, whatever we do is dictated by how we feel about things. So if we're actually more conscious of the things that make us feel good and the things that don't make us feel so good, then we're much more likely to commit to actions that encourage the feeling good rather than the feeling not so good, if that makes sense. So I'm going to actually focus a lot more during January on the things that you can put in place to help support you in perhaps making a really tailor-made, bespoke plan of action for you to go forward in 2021 with making positive changes, whatever positive changes are good for you. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in perhaps doing a workshop or even working with me one-to-one, then do pop that in the comments below. I'd love to find out how many of you would be interested in that, because I have a plan to put on a little workshop in January. So I'd like to know who is interested, if anybody. And I just want to say, have a fantastic Christmas, full of joy and laughter and love, and of course the odd glass of bubbly, and the odd mince pie. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much for watching my videos and liking my posts and working with me over this past year. And I look forward to working with you again over the next 12 months. That's it for 2020. Good morning, Sarah. Oh, thank you. Sarah's saying, love your Monday reflections, Rebecca. Happy Christmas. And the same to you, Sarah. Thank you very much for joining me. 2 Sarahs I've got this morning. And Sarah Gregory is saying thank you. Thank you too, Sarah. And have a lovely day, both of you. And I will see you next year. My clinic, just so you know, closes, actually tomorrow is the last day. And I will be back with the next Monday message on January the 4th. And the clinic will open on January the 5th. So thank you very much. Have a lovely time. And if you do want more information on working with me, then you can click on the link with this video. Okay, bye-bye.